Okay, y'all, we're back here with the Positive Vibes Show. This is segment number 3 of Personal Empowerment. I'm here with 4 of the lovelies from Project Positive Change. I got Vidya, Lesley, Susan, and Bobbi. We're all visionaries with Project Positive Change. The whole idea behind the Positive Vibes Show is really to show the talent, the skills that are available here to you from Project Positive Change. So let's kind of just get right into it. On this segment of Personal Empowerment, we're going to really talk about what happens with the social sphere and the family sphere around us as we change. What happens? How do other people react? And how do we really kind of deal with that? So who would like to start off on this fun subject?
I'm going to say one thing that I say to all my clients when we start to work on authenticity. You will lose people. You will lose people. It's going to happen. Take a deep breath and know that it's going to happen, because when you become authentic and you start to change the way your perspective and the way you see the world and the energy that you take in, when you're not serving someone who's in a negative space, they will leave you. They will dump you. Because they need that energy. They need to be able to. So if you have a friend, that friend, you know, the phone rings and you look down and you go, oh man, right? Because you just know it's going to be 2 hours of blah, 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 blah. When you start to change and you say, well, you know, if you're not going to leave or you're not going to change your circumstances, I really don't know what to say to you. After a while, that person won't call you anymore because you're not feeding her energy, and she needs to have that energy fed. Yeah. But you will, on the other hand, attract new people into your life who share your joy and your honesty and your authenticity and your sense of adventure or your child whimsy or whatever it is. You attract new people into your life. So yes, some of them you're going to lose, but you're going to attract really good ones into your life.
I love that. It's almost like, you know, we all create our own egoic structure around the people that are around us. And when they change, that changes us, right? And sometimes we don't like that change. What do you think about that?
It's true.
Well, I can say that firsthand. As I changed, you know, I was this shy girl. I married a man who was very assertive and, you know, very nice man, but assertive and confident and things like that. And I was a follower. He was a leader. And as I come up and we're equals, at least in my mind, it does. He's like, who are you? You know? Like, you know, I start to assert myself a little bit more. But the funny thing is, like, I have this funny thing as I assert myself. Sometimes I say, I've been thinking, oh no, and he says, oh no. But it is when it started to happen, when I started to come into my authentic self, it wasn't always easy. And we butt heads a lot, but he is accepting it because there's enough of love, enough growth that we shared together, that this new self, that it wasn't the new self, it was the old self, but the authentic self that was coming through on things, he accepted. So sometimes it is not an easy transition, but I've seen changes in him as well. And I think maybe it helps him bring his authentic self out as well. You know, you go through life in motions. I mean, been married to almost 28 years. I've known him over 30 years. So you go through so many things together that, you know, it's really, sometimes you're just doing in life, right? And you forget to feel about all these little things that need to maybe be looked at, you know? But that's a good circumstance. But I also have had circumstances where I used to be the pleaser. So people would always ask me for favors, you know. And I started to say, here's how much it is. It's hard for me to say, here's how much it is. And some people, they wanted to pay me. Some people I didn't hear from. They weren't my friends because they didn't need anything. I couldn't give them something, you know, for free.
Okay. Or you start to say no. You start to say no.
No, or here's how much it is. Exactly. I mean, well, usually it's because I'm the artist. So, you know, can you help me draw something? No,
yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Here's how much it is, you know. So it's interesting. But you're right. You do lose some people. You in many different ways, you know, and a lot of it is just you. Like, how do you allow this, you know, your boundaries, like Susan says. So yeah.
Well, in loss, like I spoke about and I speak about often, you lose people right and left, and so do you look at that and go, is it because of my energy shift? Or it's what I'm going through? It's uncomfortable for people, so you lose them that way. And then when you're becoming your authentic self and stepping into your new world, like you said, you lose those friends too, because you're not sitting in that victimhood anymore with them. So there's different caveats. So I don't think that the friends that I've lost or the family that I've lost from losing my spouse is the same as stepping into your authenticity. You know what it's a different dynamic sometimes when people don't go along on the journey with you.
Right.
But all the same, you just have to basically say, well, they're not going to be with me for it and for a reason. You have to understand they're removed from your life for a reason, and just honor that.
Yeah, I do agree with that, because I think, well, we're all on our own individual journey, even in the partnerships we form, whether it's a spouse or a significant other, with our parents, our siblings. Every single person is still on their own unique journey, and as our growth happens, we've sort of moved ahead on the awareness ladder, if you will. Suddenly we're here, and they're kind of looking up and going, when did you get there?
Yeah.
And then they're going, well, wait, then they have to make a choice. Do I climb up as well and meet you there? And I'm not stationary here. I can say, okay, I'll wait for you to meet me here. We can grow together. Or I can say, you keep coming, but I got to keep growing too. I mean, we all are making these choices simultaneously. And so I think in that process, and then there are some people who are here and they're flipping down. I mean, they're going backwards on the ladder because they choose not to have forward momentum. And I think that is the order of things in a way of this human experience that we came here to experience, really. As we took these corporeal forms to enjoy this growth. If we didn't come here to learn and grow and shift, then we're just going to have to come back. And I, for one, don't want to come back anymore. I'm done. So with that said, I think I really see that the shift, our shift, the impact it has on the others is twofold. It's the impact on our own awareness and where we are in our own journey, in our own growth of personal empowerment. But it is also, in some ways, like one of you said, a wake-up call. I think, Lesley, you said it. In some ways, it was bringing out the opportunity for your husband to step into his authentic self, or at least to kind of start thinking about it. We give them the space, the opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute. Something's going on there. That looks interesting. Maybe I should do this. Or it could be, no, I don't want to play that game. And then we've talked about this before, you release that person with love and gratitude for having walked that path with you for however long they did. And like Susan said, you are going to find other wayfarers with you. Because one thing I think I've learned in this journey of authenticity, of finding my authentic self, of empowering, of re-engaging with that power within me, because that power is never really lost. It's always there within us. We just forget to connect to it sometimes. We just yank that little cord out. Is that I think no matter where I go, I have to shine my light. We all do. We are all here to shine our light in this world. And as we shine that light on the world, we will continue to attract the people who want to be a part of that light, grow with that light, join their light to ours. And there will be others who do not. And both of those are okay. That's what we came here to experience.
Yeah, and I really loved how you said namaste, what you see in others, you see in yourself, because when you are dealing with your own stuff, you understand, you can understand what other people are going through. Can you have that understanding of where they're at? So you were talking about these levels of understanding, but what I was going to get at is a lot of times people leave your life for a while. And in fact, a psychic told me one time, people leave you and come back at some point. and what I'm discovering right now is, even though I've been separated from some people, just because we have families and we're doing things and we have careers and all these things, when we come back together, we seem to be on this journey with similarities. In fact, one girl I hadn't seen in like 20 years. She came back into my life and we were on the same sort of journey. Like we're both like, exploring our intuitive sides. We're helping people, and we were in completely different fields. I mean, she was in PR, I'm in design, and it's just amazing how sometimes you have to leave each other and explore on your own paths, and before you can and then you kind of meet up and say, hey, how did that happen?
Yeah, I agree.
So true. It's so true. And you know what? The people that you lose along the way, they were not your authentic friends, associate. They weren't part of your authentic journey. And once you reconcile that and accept it, go into acceptance mode, then you're open to actually inviting people who are part of that journey. So at first it seems like a great, huge loss, but when you accept it and you see that it's part of your growth and you're going to let somebody else in, then it's okay.
Y'all, apparently the universe wants to remove me for a little bit and bring me back. So.
Mercury is having the time of his life with you. We're still in retrograde. Apparently, the rest, hey, you need to shift state. I don't know.
You're right. The Mercury retrograde, I'm going to blame that. Or it's just giving me potty break time. Sorry.
That's good too. Well, welcome back. We're glad you're back.
Sorry about that.
No worries. All righty. Well, that sounds like that might be the perfect time for us to go ahead and end this segment right here. And this is the Positive Vibes Show from Project Positive Change. We have Vidya and Lesley and Susan and Bobbi here. And we're going to be back here in the next segment, number 4, probably the last one. So tune in for that one. And this is the 3rd of 4. So we want you to watch all of them. And we'll talk to y'all soon.